Good morning, collective. I'm out on my walk this morning, and I just want to bring some attention to our environment. So let me just turn this around until we get the balloon up there. It's a good tourism attraction here. People come and go ballooning. They've just had the Avon descent with the big boat race. I didn't get any pictures of the boats coming down here, but they come through here. But the attention I wanted to bring here again is, see that this foam, this is not ice, it's not a natural phenomena, It is in a sense, this is the way it's explained away. That this is all like microorganisms that is dead. And so each time it rains, these dead organisms wash off the hills and the farms and, like the riverside, off of the tributaries, what I'm trying to say, you know what I'm trying to say. And it's washing into the river. Now, the river, this is not like something that has always happened like this. As you can see, and this has been going on for weeks as it's been raining. Weeks and weeks with high levels of this foam coming down the river. And everybody just looks at it as if that's normal. There was thousands of people here just last week seeing the boat race, and they were coming through this foam. This is not normal to have so much dead microorganisms. Now, and then you can see on the path here where they spray the path for us to walk along. A path is something that is, it's a path because it's walked on. It's a trodden ground, and it's trod down through frequent walking. But the people that the shires and the natural resource management insist on spraying these paths with glyphosate to keep a path, right? But I believe, as well as on the farms, you've got the spraying, everybody in their gardens, everybody in the streets, everybody has this hate for weeds. Like there's always the big promotion of like fire hazards with weeds. But see, like here, like with clover, it's all growing through here. It was not natural here to here either. This is a weed, but when it dies, it just dies flat. It doesn't grow up high. It's not a fire hazard, right? It just grows down and flattens on the ground. So this path is only for the human pleasure. It always comes down to the wants of humanity with their path. But if this was a frequently walked path, it would be a path anyway. If it's not, then it's not worth putting all this spray on it to maintain it. Because look, it's not worth this. That's all death. So, what I thought I might do, and we know we've got evidence, like in America, that glyphosate is actually banned because it's poisonous. It ends up it's in our food, for Christ's sake. People spray it's so readily. They don't, they're just willy-nilly in their gardens, like shires on the footpaths. You see these people go, every time I see the gardens, I've given up, like, saying things to people because they're not interested in listening anyway, and you're probably not even interested in listening to my little video here. But it all washes down into the river, and that's why we've got so much foam here. So what is, and there's probably lots, it's probably not just glyphosate, it's probably a mixture of the glyphosate, the phosphorus, what they spray in the sky to keep the sun at bay as well. Everything is, I haven't seen a lot of that at this time, but I'll show you next time I see it. But it's geoengineering. This is it, and it comes down to the changing of the environment changes the behaviour of organisms, so it comes down to, like, human control. So that's the idea. Like, from eugenics, it become, like, controlling the genome, for the to create the perfect human, right? The Aryan race, and which I'm a product, and then let me turn this around, and so then it went from eugenics, those experiments with eugenics, to epigenetics, which is about like, if you change the environment and control the environment, then you change the behaviour of the organism. So this is like on a micro level to a macro level. Okay, so you change the environment of an organism, and then of course it changes the behaviour. So, like, for instance, like spraying the paths here. So that the tourists can come and walk and not have to walk through the grass, right? The wet grass. So it's to get us to come and walk here, basically. It's not really about, it's not bringing pleasurable experiences. Well, it kind of is, but it's not really about bringing these nice experiences to us. It's always based on a monetary value. So if you've got more people, more things to offer in a town, like walk tracks, right? Then you will attract more people to your town, so then you can sell more stuff and make more money. So it always comes down to making money, right? So this is how we always sell our human behaviours, is their economic value, right? These arrows really annoy me. Like, we can see that this is a track here, right? Why do we have to have these arrows on everything, you know? Like, I've been to some really beautiful places where, you know, you've got these beautiful big and things, and then they go and put an arrow on it. You know what I mean? Like, it just sort of like, it's degrading to me. It degrades the environment. See, look, this foam just does not stop, right? Ever since, you know, like, even like early on in the piece, it used to be like the first rain and you got a bit of foam, right? A bit of debris, a bit of foam. But now, every rain, this is weeks and weeks of rain we've been getting, and this foam doesn't stop. You know, like before it was like, you know, you'd get it at the beginning of, you know, you get it at the, at the beginning of the season, as soon as, you know, when it starts raining and it washes through, and then that was it. It would run clear. But like, what I'm saying is, this is just like constant now. Like, it's not stopping. So when we look at our ground, you know, and even like spider webs, right? Like, in the wintertime, we used to get all these spider webs through. If I see one, we might see one. You know, now it's become like, you know, like you go, oh, there's a spider web. Where before it was like, oh God, these damn spider webs, you know, you need to get a stick to walk through, you know what I mean? And, you know, you used to get all these ones, you know, they make the beautiful little round web, and when it rains and you know, the dew sits on them and they glisten, you know, in the light. If I see one, I'll show us. Look at that, beautiful. It is beautiful here, right? But anyway, I don't want, you know, like, I don't want to. People always go, oh, you always, you know, I don't want you to talk about the doom and gloom, right? But the thing is if we don't talk about it or say something, then it's only going to get worse, right? I mean, and look at these trees. These trees here, see that? This is they're, I don't even want to say it because, you know, it looks like we've got lots of trees here, but there's not really. The road's only just there, so it's only like you get these, you know, sections of trees along the edges of the river. Well, some places you don't even have any, you know, but this was a forest, you know, and also had like originally the ground was would be covered in wildflowers, pink and yellow and blue and white, and, you know, like it would be all you know, woodlands and then the wildflowers. But, you know, since the takeover, we hello hello hang on, okay, I'm back. I just had a conversation with a lady with their dog. Anyway, look. See the trees? See we're losing them? The paper barks in areas. I'll show you in some other areas. Yeah, look here, these are paper barks. They used to grow really big, but if you look close, see there are, this is not healthy. See how the branches are breaking off like that? Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to be moving around soon, and I'm going to be going to lots of different places. I'll do some local ones first, so I'll do some more of these little videos, and just I don't want to just I don't want to be here just pointing out negativity, because there's still lots of beauty here, right? But I feel the need to not ignore it, So what I thought I'd do is I've been meaning to do this a long time, and I just haven't been getting around to it. I used to be like part of the Environmental Society, but this is the thing too. They provide funding for environmental organisations, community groups and things like that to, plant trees and whatnot. So they provide money, but they stipulate what the money can be spent on, right? And this is through natural resource management. So usually it's like natural resource management are the organisation that the government, they give the big grants to, and then the natural resource management give out smaller grants to community groups to do environmental work, right? But what they do is, I'll just show you this little bit here, is they stipulate what the money, how much money goes on what. See how these are dying here, these. Less and less of the paper barks, they're really sensitive, and also the flooded gums, they're disappearing. The trees are mostly the strongest and resilient, because we have the salt issues as well, like the river's now salty, used to be fresh. Look at that. Anyway, getting back to what I was saying. The money that, because you have to, you have to spend the money on what they say to spend the money on. So for the organisations to survive, they will go for the funding so that they can do their tree planting and weed control, right? And natural resource management declared a war on weeds. But what that means is that there's a whole lot more of the spraying going on, and they also kill off weeds that we can actually use, that are medicinal, and but just because it's not native, nothing is native now anyway, right? But because it's not native, they just they kill it. So everything everything gets sprayed, you know what I mean? Now, we have a problem here with, I'm just putting this feather in a tree. The bridal creeper. Now, I have seen some along the walk here, but, you know, like they've sprayed it. But I think, see, I'm saying I think, right? But years and years and years in observation that I have had, you know, because I've lived on the river for a long, long time, when they've sprayed this, they have to use bridal creeper. It's often growing up like it's a creeper, and it grows up on the paper barks. And the paper barks are really, really sensitive, and I feel that they might be killing the paper barks in the process of killing the bridal creeper, you know. And this is the thing. Getting back to the monetary value, when they fund the environmental organisations, they stipulate how much money will be spent on things. So there is a portion that goes on tree planting, you know, like the seed collecting and that kind of thing. It's done through natural resource management, mostly, you know, for, you know, like filling in after mines and things. But, you know, they grow the seedlings and stuff to be planted out. They do that to a degree, but a lot of the funding goes on weed control, which is spraying, right? And making paths to bring in more tourism to, you know, beautiful areas that tourists might be interested in going into. But by allowing more human connection, you know, like the more we open up for the humanity to experience these beautiful places, the more destruction there is. Because, like I'm saying here, look at this, hang on, let me turn this around. It's a little path through here. Hang on. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so what was I talking about? I was talking about, oh yes, okay, so they stipulate how much money they spend on what, right? Like, so there's a certain amount of money that goes on the tree planting. I'll just turn this around again, see. A certain amount of money goes on the tree planting, and then it's on making paths to allow more public into these beautiful places, which is lovely, right? Because we like to get in amongst it, but it's not for the environmental good. It's for, you know, human pleasure. And see, look at that. Look at that phone. That's not normal. That should be, you know, like smooth water. So, turn this around again. Rocks. Anyway, they make it for the paths, so you can get grants to fund grants to fund, you know, like making little bridges like this and making paths for human access. And these have to be maintained all the time, obviously. So more spray goes on all the time to keep the path open. And the cutting back of the trees, well, you know, just fine. But see, I don't know when the spraying started, but it wasn't always a thing, right? It wasn't always look at this. This has been dammed here. So the money goes on making paths, making signs. You know, like they make all these signs about the you know, birds and animals. Along the path, so you know, like in putting those arrows on everything, like to show us where the path is like not like we can see where the path is, right? So now, see the water up here? It looks nice and smooth. See, and we could say that this is, you know, look. See all that foam there? So you could say because it's going over the rocks here, it's like stirring everything up, which it does, of course, and creates more of that foam. Because up here, look, see how it's smooth? It still should be smooth, like further down. It's overkill of this foam. It's like detergent, you know, like when you you know, first put your detergent in the sink and the water so when you first put the detergent in the sink and the foam all, you know, fluffs up, but you can see how much detergent has been put in the river. You see what I'm saying? The path's a bit muddy for me to go up there. Obviously the vehicles have been going up there. So this is a river crossing. There's a river crossing here, a riffle, dam, whatever you want to call it. It would have been fun to see the boats go over here, but yeah, I never made it. I had to open my shop, right? Because I'm making money too, right, by the tourism. But anyway, I'll leave it there. That's what I wanted to talk about today. So I'll see you again in my next video. I hope you can hear me all right. Bye.